Get ready for the show that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and maybe something that'll offend the hell out of you. It's the C&D No Bull Show, the show that discusses everything from politics to racing, breaking the issues down to terms even a prima donna can understand. So keep that Tylenol handy. Here are your hosts, Chris Mize and Doug Dock.
Oh, there we are. Hey there.
Trying something new tonight, Dad.
What are you trying?
Everybody's got to bear with me.
Okay.
Got a laptop. Debbie bought me a laptop for Christmas. Just for this kind of bullshit.
For your birthday?
Used to get kicked off. Yeah. Debbie spent $600 so I'd get thrown off.
There you go.
All right. First off, we want to thank all our veterans. We appreciate you guys more than you guys know. I want to thank all our military serving overseas in the homeland. Without you guys, our freedoms wouldn't be protected. Next, Doug, I haven't brought him up in a while, but I want to thank all our National Guardsmen. National Guard in every state, you're being called up to a shit job. We understand it. We understand that it's a shit job. We don't understand why so many of you are being called up. And I don't think people want to tell us why, but it's what it is. But thank you. And all our first responders, police, fire, EMS, and the doctors and nurses, and we thank you guys too. So, Doug, there isn't a lot of material to talk about tonight.
Jeez Louise.
Huh? And can you believe this shit?
This is amazing.
We live in the United States. I'm not really sure if we are or not, Doug. Third world country shit.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of embarrassing.
It ain't kind of. It's freaking embarrassing to the hill. Here's the thing, Doug. We're getting fed a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. Yesterday, you didn't hear jack shit. Not one thing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Today, we hear a little bit. And it's. We heard that there was some protesters starting to gather at the Ohio Capitol, and this, that, and the other. I read an article. I was talking to you about that article today, wasn't I? From the Washington Post.
Which one?
About the militias. Have I talked to you about that?
I don't think so.
I read an article where the Washington Post was just, we got to stop all the militias. We got to go after them. The FBI knows about some of them. They know about this one. They can't have guns. They can't. And I'm just saying this in a nutshell, what they were saying. We got to take all their guns, kind of arrest them for, treason against the country, basically. It's our goddamn right to do that. If you're not breaking a law and you want to, do that, gather, whatever, how the hell are they to say you're not allowed to do that because you ain't got the same damn thoughts?
Well, you know what? I've been looking up censorship.
Censorship, yeah, we got that in the United States.
Well, you know what? It doesn't apply to a person.
What do you mean?
Censorship is
You were waiting for me to ask that question.
Yeah, let me bring this up. The suppression or prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc., that are considered to be obscene, politically unacceptable, or a threat to security.
Well,
so when they are what we call censoring us on Facebook and stuff, they're actually just violating our rights. Because censorship doesn't apply to a person.
But no, the government can't tell a private business what to do. That's the out.
Unless there's a pandemic, and then they have all the rights in the world.
It depends on what damn business you are.
Apparently, yeah, that's true too. Well,
if you're Facebook, Google, Amazon, the big ones.
Do as you please.
Hey, we don't want to interrupt your business. We know you're making millions. You
Right.
know, Amazon owner. What's the name? Jeff
NFL,
Bezos?
NBA.
Yeah.
Guys, go
Hey,
ahead.
curfew doesn't go in effect for the NFL because we know inside a stadium the virus doesn't spread.
Right.
Dumbest comment ever. But Jeff Bezos, he's only the richest man in the world. I mean, hey, sir, we know you can't afford to take a break.
Right.
But Jim Bob down the street that owns whatever small business, hey, fuck you, buddy. You sit home. We don't care your business.
Or you make sure everybody that comes into your place wears a mask, and if you don't, then we'll going
find
to shut you down or fine you.
And that's on a state level. In the beginning of this bullshit, and I know it's real. So Facebook world, whatever world we're on, whatever. I know it's real, and it'll mess you up. But quote unquote, when the mask order come out, and I'll repeat this till everybody's tired of hearing it, and then I won't give a shit and repeat it again. If we do not want you asking a person if they have a medical condition, if they are not wearing a mask, assume they do. Correct? That wasn't correct? Didn't DeWine say it?
That's what he said. He said,
right.
Because I thought, that's my out.
Yeah. Right. Well.
And now that doesn't work anymore. You will get thrown out of a store if you're not wearing one. Because
I don't blame them.
Exactly. I can't. These people, they got to stay in business, so they'd rather lose one person than their whole entire business.
Yeah, because you got the goon squad going around.
Right.
The mass Nazis. They're going around and here's the thing. I would have a problem with this and bitch like hell. I'm just going to bitch about everything. That's me. But, if they walk into business and there's a guy walking around without a mask on and the goon squad walks up to the guy and they say, hey, where's your mask? I got a medical condition. Well, they're pushing the line, but the goon squad would have the authority to say, what's your medical condition? Am I wrong? They're under action of the health department. Ohio Health.
Right.
So wouldn't the person's personal responsibility, shouldn't they be nailed for it? The business owner's got a business to run. We're told in the beginning there's HIPAA laws, everything else, and you get into 20 different arguments about the Privacy Act and HIPAA laws. Me and you've been in them, Doug, with people.
Right.
So instead of putting that owner in that situation, wouldn't you personally find the person? Why would you go after the owner of the business? You told him in the beginning, don't ask. Now, if I'm bullshitting you and I don't have a medical reason, personal responsibility here. Am I wrong?
No.
And then they do that, me and you would go off about that. What? Who gives them the right?
Last week I was playing devil's advocate, and that didn't work out very well for me. So that's why I was just trying to think of why they would have came up with that ridiculous rule, but I can't.
There's no. I said it before. Some guy down in Columbus that has a job down there woke up one morning and says, "Oh boy, I better do something or I might get laid off," and wrote an order.
From day one, we've looked at all the orders and we've always been able to say, what about? And their response is, they're never going to be able to 100% cover everything, but some things are really just completely way out there, like the school systems.
Yeah, explain that. What a joke.
So here locally, we're going to do A through L on Monday and L through Z on Tuesday. And then we're going to have a cleaning day. Make sure we clean all the germs. And then Thursday, we'll bring back A through L. And on Friday, we'll bring back L through Z. Perfect.
What's wrong with that picture? Hey, wait, Doug, before you say, I can't read the comments. I'm kind of far away, but there's comments in there. Anybody see something wrong with this picture?
I think that's awesome. Half of them go on Monday, half go on Tuesday.
Then you got a cleaning day.
Then you got a cleaning day, and then you do it again on Thursday and Friday.
Who is thinking of this shit? That's what I want. Who is thinking of this? Why wouldn't you have the same group go 2 days in a row?
These are our educators.
Why would you not have the same group go Monday, Tuesday? It's the same group of people.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then have the second group go Thursday and Friday.
So if you have an outbreak,
if you have an outbreak in Group A,
you at least got it narrowed down to half your students, and some of these districts are pretty large. So now you just have to quarantine the whole entire school because everybody's been there. Makes sense to me.
Regardless, it's a bunch of bullshit. There's not.
All right. Let's talk about this. Trump's been impeached again. So that makes the second time. Now it goes to the Senate, and the Senate well, that's just plain dumb. So the Senate's got to
Senate's got to have a hearing on it.
And if they, let's see, how's this go? He's been impeached. If it's upheld by the Senate, then he loses
everything.
Yeah, pension and
security.
Well, they talked about security because he's a president. You can't just take it away. It's very limited.
The drunk bitch in the house was talking about him losing his security and shit. Well, let me rephrase that. The drunk bitch I meant Nancy Pelosi was on Facebook police watching. I'm sorry.
Well, what's going to happen is then the Senate will hold another hearing to vote on if Trump is ever allowed to hold office again.
And they'll vote no.
Why now? Why is that?
Listen, when do the senators get sworn in, the new ones, the freshman class?
I think aren't they in already? Isn't it like the second or third or first Monday of January or something?
I don't know. I thought they got sworn in right around the time president did.
I don't pay attention.
So they hold it off. You don't pay attention.
I just run my mouth.
We just talk shit on this show.
Hence the name.
We'll make it up, and if you disagree,
if somebody really knows the truth, let us know.
We'll just delete you like Facebook does people.
Right.
But anyways, I can tell you right now, it's going to be a Democratic run Senate. Majority.
Yeah.
So he's screwed. You think they're gonna hang him out to dry?
Well,
they're gonna hang him out to Hillary Clinton, so he'll end up committing suicide in the next 6 months.
He'll be the next one running out in the woods.
Yeah. He was in a car wreck. His brakes went out.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah.
So, the thing of it is this. We don't move. And let's really get into this, people. I don't know how many are watching. I ain't paying attention up top, but we don't move the United States military. I'm not talking National Guard. We don't move the United States military around in this country. As many troops are moving, Doug. We don't call up now all the National Guard for an inauguration that can be held inside the secure.
Right.
And I believe it is being held inside, from what I'm being told.
Yeah, I think they're changing a lot of stuff.
So there's some kind of bullshit going on. Here's what pisses me off. We the people should know what's going on. What do you say? The what? CIA?
Yeah. Controls the media.
I don't doubt that. And I tell you right now, Cal, I believe you get 100 private messages, you know, about everybody's got a theory. You know what I'm saying? And you see guys talking. I've seen 3 or 4 different things that said the same thing in different words about the Insurrection Act and the Stafford Act being enacted sometime today.
Right.
Okay. And then you go on to all the military is being moved around to keep that in place. Personally, what I think, which don't mean shit, it's my opinion, and it doesn't go farther than this garage opinion, but you know, there's something going to happen in effect of that, or they wouldn't be moving it, and it got too quiet. Nobody's reporting shit yesterday or today. We heard that they were starting a protest gather at the Ohio Capitol, Columbus. Now, I talked to Greg Daniels that was on the show last week, this morning, Greg, Doug, and I told you. Greg informed me, was talking about it. They called, this is funny shit, really, if you think about it. They called all the Georgia National Guard up. Some of them supposed to go to Washington. And I don't know if they can do this or not. Maybe they just disobeyed an order, Doug, but you know, almost half of the National Guard that was supposed to go to Washington said, well, we resign. We're not going.
See, I'm not saying it's not true, but I know that I couldn't say no. If they said you're going to Washington, you're going to Washington. There's no way around it.
But what are they going to do? Throw them all in jail? Now, here's my point on this. I thought about this a lot today, Doug. They're really making a stand. They're willing to go to jail. They're not going out there for the bullshit.
What happens, at least used to happen, is if you disobey that, you're going to end up going to a court martial and you're going to get sentenced.
What Wallachek say? I can't read
it. Which one?
Employment is a joke in Ohio.
Unemployment.
Oh, unemployment. You wait 4 weeks. That's normal. That's normal unemployment. You know, you want to joke at the beginning of this pandemic when the whole unemployment Ohio system was supposed to be in place. There's people waiting 9 weeks.
Yeah,
they were going back to work.
Yeah. But it was overloaded because you were going to get $600 more than what you would normally get.
I don't know if anybody else experienced this. I'm not going to bring his name up. So, guy's wife gets laid off because guy's wife got laid off because of the pandemic. She was in job care. She files $600 extra a week. There was a little boxy check. Does your spouse still work full time? Yes. Shit, dude, like 3,600, 4,000 into it. They send her a letter. Oh, sorry, you got to pay all that money back. Your spouse continued to work full time, so therefore you're not eligible. I know a few people got stuck with that. What kind of bullshit's that? Well, we're going to promise you this money. Oh shit, man, we're starting to run low. We don't know. Let's just pull this bullshit. Hey, we need it back.
Right. Now it's $300 extra.
The $300 is what you get. I heard it's starting to come. I don't know.
That's not a month. That's a week.
That's a week. $1,200 a month. So, hear me out. If let's just take the $600 for example. Say you got your wife and your kids. Let's say you got 2-3 kids. You're getting like $590 a week unemployment. Okay, regular state unemployment. If you meet all the criteria, money-wise, whatever. Now, they were giving people $600 extra a week. That's almost $1,200 freaking dollars a week.
Right.
And then they turn around and say, "Well, we'll pay people to go back to work." What the fuck? What, you know what I'm saying? What do you mean?
Yeah, I would have probably stayed out a little bit longer, at least a few more weeks. Grab $1,200 more.
Now you're going to get $900, almost $900 to stay home.
Yeah, yeah.
Why the fuck? Why would you go back to work?
Nobody's commenting about that. So, if you have something on your mind and you want to get involved, there is
Oh,
a link.
don't get me wrong, Doug. The pandemic put people out of
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's real. It's taking lives.
But
It's something that
when
needs to be addressed.
when it was time to go back to work, a lot of guys saying, "Yeah, yeah, okay, I'm going to go back to work and make $600 a week," and when I was making 1,200, or take home. What's wrong with this picture? Now they're talking going in with the new government. Now they're going to elect and give us $1,400 more and push that through. Am I the only one that heard that? Or?
No, that's real. In fact, I just seen a story on when you can receive it, how quickly it'll come out. But the other thing is he's going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, which sounds really good. But I'm telling you what, we're in trouble.
I get it. Listen, I get some of the manufacturing jobs. So, some of these jobs, I get there should be it should be a tiered deal. It shouldn't be a straight 15 across the board. I mean, McDonald's, and I don't want to rip on McDonald's because, listen, at the end of the day, McDonald's is the service to us. There ain't nobody posting on that thing ain't stopped at McDonald's. I'm telling you that right now. But McDonald's is designed for high school jobs, young kid jobs, this, that, and the other. Now, unfortunately, high school kids don't want to work no more. So, some do, some don't. But should they make 15 an hour? No. Every person out there that's cheering for this 15 an hour minimum wage is the same person that's going to call up and say, I just paid $12 for a number one Big Mac meal.
Well, you're right. The corporations can withstand it, but I always go back to this. The lady that owns the candle shop, and she's got an employee that works there. Now she's going to be mandated to pay that person $15 an hour from 8 something an hour. And she's either going to go out of business or the prices are going to go astronomically high. I think she'd probably go out of business because she's not going to be able to sell.
You're not going to be able to compete with Walmart now.
Right.
Well, Walmart's going to jack their prices. Kroger's going to, a gallon of milk that cost me $2.39 the other day now is going to be $4.50 because what people don't realize, why is milk going up to the grocery stores? Well, it ain't just the grocery store, you stupid ass. You got the farmer that's got to pay for the people to milk, the processing, right on down the line. Every single person has to up on different. I mean, nobody's thinking in this country. I can tell you, there's some places that do need the minimum wage raised. I'm not saying it don't, Doug. There's some people that take advantage of this that in manufacturing or different jobs. But to go down to, certain places, I agree it should go to maybe 10 an hour, but I don't agree it should go to 15. That's just my opinion.
Well, January 1st in Ohio, I think, is $8.80, and you can withstand those incremental increases because you adjust throughout the year for them. When you go from 8 to 15, there's no way.
Rick Young's got it right on that.
Oh wow, it's almost $4 a gallon in Missouri right now.
You're shitting me.
No, that's from Gidget Funk.
Hensley. It's Gidget. Well, yeah, Gidget Funk. Gidget Hensley.
It's So how will the racetracks handle the $15 hour?
It's called volunteer, Rick.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have a lot of volunteers.
Volunteers.
That's true, but like even in our concessions, we pay hourly.
Yeah, I know. So, now us people on the track side are going to be bigger assholes, Rick, just so you know. You raised that hamburger 50 cents.
Yeah, can't believe it.
I can't believe it. You're highway robbery.
Right. Right. Well, we pay these fine people $15 an hour to be here.
Yep, we pay them. Are you paying a minimum wage? No, sir. It's my aunt. Who's that? My sister.
Right. My other sister. My other sister from another mother.
Yeah, my, stepsister, my half sister, my half brother, my uncle.
The whole family's working.
Yeah, you've reduced us down to family only.
Yeah. So yeah, Ron. Listen, I put up with that so many times during when I worked for a company where people were making X amount of dollars, and then they've worked there for 5 years, we'll say, and then all of a sudden they increase the wages. So somebody coming on is making more than what you were making, and you've been there 5 years. Amazing. I mean, we took everybody up to the same level, but still that guy worked 5 years to get to that level.
But let me ask you this. What about the people that will quit their jobs now? And this is something you got to look at. The poor lady that's got 2-3 kids, husband ran off, or vice versa, wife ran off, the guy stuck with the kids. He's making 11, 12 bucks an hour, but he's also got child care, food stamps, assistance through the program, and he can barely make it when he's got all this. Now you up him to $15 an hour. He goes up another bracket and he loses some assistance. You know what you're forcing people to do? Make a choice. Do I work and not make it, or do I stay home on my ass and live better? Nobody's looking at that side of it.
Right.
I'm not saying I want to see everybody make whatever money they can, Doug. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, even though I'm against 15 an hour across the board for minimum wage, that doesn't mean I don't want to see people make a good living. But what you are doing and nobody's looking at is you're making some people make choices, and our welfare system's going to be overrun by this move. And I believe that's what that party wants.
Well, it happened to the unemployment system. I mean, it almost crashed because a lot of people were like, yeah, I'll take a layoff. I'll make more sitting at home.
There's a lot of people didn't sit at home. A lot of people had to sit at home, didn't have a choice, would rather been working.
Right.
And the debate was, I had it thrown at me, did you give the check back when I was bitching about I didn't need that?
Yeah.
Did you give your check back? No, I didn't give the check back. But what I'm saying is,
you kept
what
it.
I'm saying is, well, goddamn right. Well, I'm not stupid. Everybody got a check, so I'm going to go with the crowd. I'll take the money, but
you're not a leader.
What I'm saying is
you needed it.
I didn't need it.
Nope.
All right, I didn't need it. The poor people that got nailed on this pandemic, that are hurting now because of whatever reason their job was lost in it, they need it.
Okay, I have the perfect solution for you that got a check that you don't need.
Go give it to somebody I know that needs it.
There you go. You can give it to a shelter house, a food bank.
You know what I did? You know what I did with it?
What'd you do with it?
I put it in a bank, because guess what we're going to have to pay?
Taxes on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to pay taxes on that. So at the end of the day, we got, $3,600, me and Debbie. So I got to pay taxes on $3,600.
Well, Ronnie Calhoun says nobody gave that check back. So you're in the majority.
Nobody gave the check. No, you know what? I'm paying for the shit. I'm just saying I don't need it. You know, there's a lot of us really didn't need it. I understand the concept. They give that money out to keep the economy rolling.
So let me ask
Who the
you.
hell's paying for it, Doug?
So our grandchildren. So, so you stayed working. What did the pandemic do to you?
Not a goddamn thing.
All right, but you took the money.
Right. I didn't spend it because I got to pay taxes on it. I got to pay taxes on that shit, dude. And you know what everybody's going to say at the end? Man, I normally get 5,000 back. I only got 4,000 back this year. Well, because guess what? They gave you free and clear money that you took, and you didn't even think, oh man, I got a check for $1,200. Boom, run to the bank. Guess what? Your check was only worth about $800. Sorry, you know what I mean, Doug? It was only worth about $800. You know.
Oh wow, that Julie, I'd like for you to come on and talk about that. So the Amish sent their checks back and they didn't cash it. They weren't allowed to take it per their bishop. That is amazing stuff.
And Julie would know. She lives down there in Ashland area. You know, Amish. I call it Amish area.
I know where everybody lives.
Johnny Newman, tell him it's my job to know everything, isn't it?
Julie, I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, send Julie a link. Julie,
I already did.
You know, she's shy though. Little quick story.
You know that?
Hey, listen. Julie, come on. When I was at Mansfield Speedway, we got interns, and Julie, come on, she was my intern at Mansfield Speedway. She's going to Ohio State. And I think at the time I believe her degree actually is in sports marketing. I have to ask her, but so one of the things she had to do is write up a big speech.
Use that.
Huh? Yeah, I know. But she had to write up a big speech. She comes in, she goes, okay, here's spit now. What? You're going to have to give it. What? Yeah, it's part of the, you know, she's very shy. She was very shy to everybody, but
she's in marketing.
She'd blow me a lot of shit. Trust me. She was shy when she first came in, but when she was around me and realized I was an asshole, she'd blow me shit. Don't think she wouldn't, but Lord forbid she wouldn't say 2 words around anybody else.
So that's pretty interesting, though.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that.
Well, the Amish just started paying taxes. What, 10 years ago?
What?
The Amish just started paying taxes like 10 years ago.
I did not know that.
Amish never used to have to pay taxes, and you guys in the room back me up on this. The Amish never had to pay taxes because of religious beliefs. So they didn't have to pay income tax.
The first $1,200 that came out, was it that tax-free?
No. No, it was not. No, it was not tax-free. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Right there. Eddie Noble. Buy silver and gold. Or Bitcoin. Bitcoin's another big one.
How about that guy that has all that money and he can't get into it? Did you hear about that?
No.
He's got a thumb drive and he's got those Bitcoins on it, and it's worth millions of dollars. Well, he bought it like 10 or 20 years ago, so he just had this thing. Well, he don't have the password to it. Well, he bought one that after 10 tries, it wipes itself out. He's on try number 8 with his passwords, and he don't remember the password. So he's got like $1 million sitting there that he can't.
There's no way you can reset it?
No.
Shame on him. Shame on him. He's probably married, been married for 15 years, 20 years. And His password's probably his ex-wife's name or his ex-girlfriend or some stupid shit. It's worth $1 million for me not to bring this up.
Right. Okay. So Donald K, they're saying that there's no taxes on the 1,200, but this last 600, not sure. Probably it's probably taxed.
Are you sure? Because I thought that was a big issue when Trump sent that out. Look that up, Doug. I'm pretty sure we got to pay taxes on that. Now I could be wrong. I'm not saying you are. I've been wrong a lot. Trust me.
People must be looking this up because it came right up. No, the IRS confirmed that the stimulus checks are not treated as income, and taxpayers do not have to pay tax amount.
Well, mark this down. I was wrong.
What?
But the $600 we got to pay on.
It don't say anything on that one yet, but this was as of July 28th.
So I can spend that $1,200 now.
Go ahead and spend that now.
Now tomorrow I will run it right down to the food bank. I didn't say what food bank.
The Mize Food Bank.
The Mize Food Bank. You people better, I tell you right now, you better stock up on food. You better get water, stock up.
You think there's going to be a revolution?
I don't know, revolution, civil war. I know there's going to be a shutdown. There'll be a shutdown. Anybody, did you hear what Dr. Fauci said Friday? With the 2 new strands that come out. The one that they found on the Colorado mountaintop in the middle of nowhere. Just said, poof. Poof, here we are.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah. But that one, and then Ohio State University on Wednesday found a 5th one. That one is supposed to be the worst one as far as contagiousness. I mean, that one is it's like 5 times more contagious than what we just went through. Fauci come on and said at the beginning of March, it'll be just like last year at the beginning of March. Things are going to start shutting down. Biden's chief medical advisor already said several weeks ago, and I guess they just reset it again the other day. Debbie told me they want a 4 to 6 week shutdown. And we can squash this, stop the curve, flatten the curve, like with masks in July when it was 1,200.
If you're looking for a place to donate, Ron Calhoun says that you can donate to the Church of Hope, and he has direct contact.
Direct contact? How would you like it, Ron? A pink check or?
Right. So talk about the Coyote guy. He does a podcast.
Let's go into the censorship. That's what it is. My buddy Greg Daniels come on last week when I was at South Georgia Motorsports Park. He was that guy there. We've become pretty good friends. He has a group called Coyote Survival on Facebook. Now, it isn't a militia group. It isn't anything like that. Their big conversation this week was supposed to be ham radios, understanding ham radios. Remember how they used to do that back in the day? That's how a lot of people communicated.
Yep.
They talk about planting gardens, survival. They're planning on some bullshit hitting too. Now, Greg got knocked off Facebook. It got taken off. He said just some stuff he said. Okay,
not over the ham radio stuff.
No, this is he was allowed to come back on. It come back up. Coyote Survival page. Greg was scheduled to do a Facebook Live tomorrow on that page. Went up this morning, went to post. Can't post. Page shut down until January 23rd. No reason, no explanation. He didn't do anything. He didn't say nothing against Biden. He didn't say nothing against Trump. He didn't say nothing. He was talking about the last one he had. He come back on and did one the other night. I don't know if you've seen it. He was experimenting, trying to get it up and running using StreamYard for the first time. They were talking about planting gardens. Who's got seeds? Who got, we're going to talk about ham radios. Facebook and their finance yanked them off. Boom. We'll see you the 23rd after the inauguration. For what reason?
What was the original, the one that he actually got kicked off for or knocked off for?
He didn't say. He didn't tell me what it was. But if I know Greg, it wasn't way out of line like I do. You know, I get kind of out of line. But, you know, here's the thing. I offered him, I don't know if he's watching tonight or not, but I offered him, because I think it's such bullshit. I offered him to run Coyote Survival's. He's going to do it on YouTube, but he's worried YouTube's going to yank it too because they're getting shitty. But I offered him to run it through our page right here if he wanted to. They want to kick us off, kick us off. You know, it's bullshit. You know, Kathy Gifford go on, and it can be on Facebook for how long? That picture of her holding Trump's head and shit. They can say whatever the hell they want to say against Trump. And this isn't one party, the other party. They can say whatever the hell they want to say against Trump. You know, suck my, you know what, this, that, and the other, and it stays up. It stays up. You say one thing out of line, like me the other day. Dude come up, said some stupid shit. Trump told them to go protest. That's what caused the whole. Are you kidding? Okay. Biden, Harris, and Pelosi, when they went to Seattle, Antifa took out 5-6 blocks, barricaded them off, took over them 5-6 blocks, was burning businesses down, looting, everything, kept continuing to say protest. What's the difference? What the fuck is the difference, Doug? There ain't a goddamn difference. But I went on there and said, are they going to get, you know, what about when they did this? Boom. Facebook comes on and warns me. I went, the guy says, whatever, you know. So I put another post, yeah, whatever. That's the whole mentality of what's going on. Boom. Facebook warns me. Do you want to contest this? Like, yes, I want to contest it. Boom, Facebook warns me again for contesting it. And said I was a bully. I was harassment and bullying.
What was the post?
I have a fucking opinion. What was the post? I don't know. C. Schwark had to post up something about what the hell's going on. She never thought she'd see this shit in her life. What, you know, basically what we're all thinking. Who the hell would ever believe that we'd be sitting here in 2021 worried about whether we're going to have a revolution or not, you know, a civil war, how many thousands of military guarding at every state capital in Washington, D.C., you know, but it was something to that effect, you know. I wasn't even being shitty, Doug, like I normally get. You know what I'm saying? And then I got warned because I contested the warning. No reason why I got warned for contesting the warning. I guess I said, up yours, Chris. We'll just, you know.
Right.
I deleted another 75 fact checkers off my page today. Wake up. Censorship. So now Greg can't have, because I think it's Coyote Survival and it might be a militia. You know what I'm saying? They think that. Then you read the Washington Post about militias.
But I don't know. I don't see it. I you know, like the whole stand your ground. I think there should be something between what somebody posts and what happens. So, for example, Facebook could come and say, "We want you to clarify what you're saying here." So, if we get a complaint, we know that it's, you know, you're not starting a militia.
I won't be allowed
to do that back in the early 90s.
He's starting a militia?
Yeah, in the basement of the library in town. I'll have to tell you that story sometime.
Well, we're on air. You know, here. So Facebook comes to me and asks me, what did you mean by that? I probably wouldn't be allowed back on Facebook for months.
Well, that's true. But most people don't mean things. They just have a personal opinion about it.
You're not allowed to have a personal opinion right now. Unless it meets a far left, progressive, democratic agenda. I'm not talking old school because there's still some old school Democrats out there. I'm not talking old school Republicans. Let's face the facts here. There's some far right extremists that are going too far. And there's some far left extremists that are going too far. And us assholes in the middle got to suck the shit. We're at the bottom of the hill eating it all. We're going to pay because of this shit. Now, you take Cortez and the two Muslims that are in Congress that are the progressive, and they can't throw me off because that's fact. They are Muslim. One from Michigan and one from Minnesota. Island and what's the other one? I can't think of her name. They're far left progressive. I just watched Cortez talk the other day. I about threw up. How does a dumb bitch like that end up in Congress is beyond me.
Maybe we can get around and ask her how she pulled that off. You're so stupid. You got elected.
Yeah. What
happened?
Are your lips chapped from every male in your district?
So Jeff Pfeiffer said he has a buddy that's been kicked off for life. Trump? Are you talking about Trump?
Yeah, Trump. Here, we touched base on this last week. Maxine Waters can tell people standing at a gas station, go do that. No, nothing. Harris, our vice president, can quote unquote say, if we don't get elected, these protests will continue. Nothing done. I put something up on my page today, what Harris said about if we get elected, we're going all after all the Trumps. I didn't say that. That was a fact of what she said back in June, July, whatever. They're going after every person that supported Trump and we'll crawl under all the rocks and find you.
Well, wait a minute. She said,
of course, it was
that in June or July?
Yeah. As a senator. Well, she was a senator, right?
Yeah, but Biden didn't choose her till September.
Well, whenever she was chose. Hey, I think she said it in June, July. You got to go look at it. Might have been when she was chosen in September. Then I had it up on my page today, but Facebook told me that it was false information. And they had it right on TV. They had the TV. It was false information.
Oh boy!
What?
Johnny said July 18th.
18th. Okay. So Johnny, you seen it, correct? Just yes or no on there. I mean, it's how can they say shit like that? Nothing. Not a damn thing. That's treason, isn't it, Doug? You can't threaten another party like that.
It's actually exactly what they're impeaching Trump for. Insurrection.
I hope to God he puts insurrection and Stafford Act in tonight.
Well, you know, he is still in charge until the 20th.
He hasn't been impeached. He hasn't went to the hearing.
Right.
So
Johnny said, yeah.
Yeah. See, Greg Miller said it too.
Yeah.
So how are they allowed to say that with no repercussions? And then turn around. And I don't give a shit if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't care. And turn around and then say Trump can't say go protest because we had people rush Capitol Hill. First off, we'll get into that if you want again. Every person that started rushing Capitol Hill should have been shot. Period. End of discussion. But it's my opinion. You know, when you rush the gate, I go to Washington, D.C., and I'm with a bunch of protesters. We're rushing the gate. I'll see you later. Because it's not right. It's not right. You shouldn't. And me and you got in this discussion this morning, and you didn't think I should bring it up.
What?
Whether you like it or not, people, he's getting sworn in. He's getting sworn in. Until somebody goes into court, and then you're going to say, well, they threw it out of the courts. They threw it out. Until somebody goes into Senate hearings and everything else, and they are convicted. Until they are convicted, they broke no crime. We know they have, but until they're convicted, it's the innocent until proven guilty. Now, we all cried that on Trump's side with the Ukrainian tapes. You're making him guilty. He's innocent until proven guilty. We can't be like the other side and say, okay, we said that for him, but fuck Biden. Biden's guilty. We know he is, but he's got to go through a process, and we really can't do anything until that process. Now, if they go through that process and that, and then we got the greatest we the people take back the government because of the Constitution. That's my opinion. I'll catch shit over that opinion. I don't care. That's how I feel.
Well, I just don't know that if you could live with yourself if you were okay telling them to shoot off 3,000 people.
Absolutely. You rush the Capitol, it comes down to the old saying: play stupid games, get stupid prizes. You rush the Capitol. That's a high crime.
They're making their way through them. They're picking off a lot of them and charging them.
Well, it's bullshit, Doug. They are, but they're not putting everybody up front and center that they're picking off. Only the far right extremists, they call them. You don't see, there was left ones there. There was Antifa there that went in. Yeah. They got proof of that. They're not putting their up. They're not saying shit about that. That's what pisses me off too. Okay, if it's a far right extremist, a Trumpster that you call, and they did it and they broke law, yeah, okay, do what you got to do to them. But also, be honest about it and tell us about the other side that went in. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming. This goddamn media in this damn country has went one-sided. The media is only going to tell you what you want to hear. On their side of it, they ain't going to tell you all of it. They're going to tell you half the story. Right. And Fox News is getting just as goddamn corrupt as the rest of them. I don't believe them. There's nobody reporting the news the way it should be reported. Only what they want to report. What have you heard about the Nashville bombing lately?
Oh, that's all over with now.
Better yet, what have you heard about the Las Vegas shooter?
I haven't heard anything in years of that.
It just disappeared, remember? We went on to something else, created another distraction.
Right.
We got the Nashville bombing, boom. Now we got a rush on Capitol Hill. Nobody's talking about the Nashville bombing, are they?
Right. And then something's going to happen here around the inauguration, and that'll move everything to that, and we'll forget about the rest of this. We've been on for 53 minutes now, and you haven't got kicked off. You haven't froze up.
Might have been my computer.
Or the censor at Facebook's like, I like this guy.
He's like, yeah, they think they got a decent show going.
He's a new guy. He don't understand.
Help!
Are they supposed to be saying that?
We'll get off this, and somebody go to click to watch it. It ain't on. It ain't on.
Right. Yeah.
The thing of it is there are some good politicians out there. I will say that. But if anybody in their right frickin' mind thinks that somebody's sitting in Washington right now, take a look at their net worths. When they went into Washington, they might have had a net worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. 8-10 years later, their net worth's worth $15 million. I want to know how they're doing their goddamn math when they're making $170,000 a year, Doug. It don't add up to me.
Right.
Good investment. I wish I could make investments like that. Lobbyists are the ones that control the country.
Have you ever thought about, because Andy McCall said that we should run for president. Have you ever thought about how you would deal with stuff if you were the president?
Listen, my dad was mayor of Berlin Heights for 16 years. I know what that political bullshit is, the phone calls. How would I run the country? I'd do like when I become superintendent of a company or foreman, I get people around me that know more about me, about different things.
Right.
And that's what you need to do. Now, I don't know nothing about foreign policy. Hell, you think Trump was bad? Could you imagine me up there? What are you talking? Fuck you. Please.
Right. Now, speaking of that, and do you know that because of Trump not being at the inauguration, that he is being sent off with a briefcase as well as Biden? Both have the nuclear code in it. His will deactivate at noon because they've never done this before, so they had to come up with the plan. That's the plan. Jeez, that weighs. But
You know, it's scary.
I always said if Trump didn't talk, he'd be an amazing president, because that's what got him in trouble. I liked the way he talked. I thought it was great, but a lot of people couldn't handle that.
I like the way you talk up to a point, man. There's
The snowflakes are.
I want to say, really? I used to like the way he was with the media.
Yeah.
Media didn't like it because he called them out for what they were.
Right. Yeah.
You know, fake news. They only wanted to report it. It's like the story I told Mark this morning. You know, media can take your quote, twist it to whatever they want, and if they still have the facts of that quote in it, it's allowed.
And I'll find it, but there's a YouTube video, but instead of talking media, talk police. If you get pulled over by the police and they question you, you should never answer any questions, because they can use that against you. Even the littlest thing that you do can make a big difference. And this guy explains just a basic traffic stop,
Yeah,
and how it went all wrong because of the way he answered.
so when I got my second DUI, I shouldn't have said when the trooper walked up, handed my keys, license. Oh, you got me. You been drinking tonight, mister? We both know.
That's called stupid.
Yeah, we both know I've been drinking, sir. Went to take sobriety test. Took one. Said, hey, let's not embarrass each other. I'll go blow in the teeth. You know, but it is. I mean, the media can take whatever they want, twist it whatever they want, and as long as the facts are in there, they can twist it to make you sound. You know, I could say I took a piss this afternoon, and they can make it come out like I went out and pissed all over the whole street and everything else.
Yeah, it'll come out as public indecency.
But it's a joke. This United States right now, the proud United States of America right now, as proud as this country's been for years, the leader of all the free worlds, everything else, we're in some third world country shit, and everybody's laughing at us. And there's no other way to describe what we're doing. We got troops moving around our whole country. We got troops guarding our capitals. We got troops guarding it. The media isn't telling us what the hell's going on, only what a certain side wants us to know. We're not getting anything out of Trump because Trump censored. Facebook kicked him off. Twitter kicked him off. Every social media kicked him off and said the suspended accounts. The news media won't cover them, period. They will not cover. They stopped covering any press conferences he did.
Right. But if Biden wants to cough or fall down over his dog, that gets news coverage. Protesters start gathering at Ohio State House.
They started gathering this afternoon.
Well, it's a news break.
So that means there's already 10,000 people there, right?
I don't know.
I can't see that.
I can't either.
So Doug, hold on. So Biden, who isn't even the president, when the hell have you ever heard of the president-elect's office?
The office of the president.
Whatever president that got elected had an office and had press conferences every freaking day. I know we're in a pandemic, but and is tore the president that's sitting apart the whole time. When have you ever? That's third world country. That shit that's going on in Italy right now. Everybody better wake up. There's some real shit going on in Italy too, and that we got troops all over. And what you're going to have. Mark my words, I'm a dumb son of a bitch, and everybody will agree with that, but mark my words on this. You're going to have generals split. And when we have generals split and pick sides, then we got problems. Doug's rubbing his head.
Yeah. We got a few minutes left here, so let's talk about what we're going to try to pull off next week. Explain the whole Gavrone.
There's a newspaper I touched base on it the other day, or a couple weeks ago, was it last week, 2 weeks ago? There's a newspaper, the editor of the paper, he's totally against Teresa Gavrone, our state senator in this district. Anything she does, he just shreds her. He's the same guy that put the CCW holders in Erie County, their names in the paper. What I'm trying to pull off right now, we've sent him. Didn't you send him an email, Doug? And I'm getting a hold of Teresa. I'd like to have them two on our show to spiral it out next week.
Yeah, and that's your chance to also ask why you got publicized because you have a CCW. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but why do you have to do it? Why?
He got mad when a guy publicized his address. It's public record. Right. He thought that was terrible, but it's okay for you to put up every person's name. You know, that's almost, in my opinion, a crime. For the simple fact, every person that you publicize as CCW, there's people that don't, anti-gun people. How do you know what they're not going to do to you? How do you know they're not going to come? They're extremists at the max.
Well, isn't it public information?
Yeah. So is his address.
So is what?
So is his address. And he got pissed off about that, but he thought it was right to do the other. And everything that she says or does, he rides her ass. Now, let me tell you something. I'm partial to her, and I'm partial to DJ Swearingen, our state representative, who he's not very friendly with there, Doug, and we've experienced that. We've wrote a letter in on DJ's behalf. How long did that take? We had to call back down there and talk to his boss.
Yeah, they didn't publish it, and we called back in, and what did they tell me?
Well, they had some bullshit excuse.
Yeah, but it ended up then getting published
the next day.
Yes.
So, Teresa Gavrone and more DJ Swearingen stood up for racetrack, stood up for our track that we're at, fought for us. Real quick, Doug, off to the racing side a little. In the beginning of this pandemic, all the business shut down. DeWine formed a committee with all the businesses represented, except for motorsports. We all know why. I'm not going to get into that. I beat that dead horse, Doug. One person kind of ruined that for us. But motorsports industry, drag racing, motocross, go-karts, circle track racing, anything to do with motorsports had no representative on that committee, which I thought was just flagrantly wrong. We fought, Doug, how many conversations I had with DJ over this, and the impeachment of DeWine come up. I laid off it, some other things, election. We started back in with DJ. DJ was in the governor's office. He was promised if the committee reconvenes, because it's not being used now, another shutdown happens, committee will reconvene, that we're promised a seat on the committee. So, DJ Swearingen, Teresa Gavrone, a lot of people watch this show are racers and, involved in racing. They are fighting for the small business. DJ Swearingen fights for the small business every day. So, for what the paper, I almost said his name, Doug, the paper, to go after them because they're on the left side of things. Every move that she makes is just wrong. Let's have them on. Let's butt heads. Let's see where the bear shits in the woods. And I guarantee you, bear's gonna shit on top of his head by the time that one's over. She'll rip him up. And I think he knows that, and I think he'll be scared to come on here.
Right.
You know, I don't agree with what he does. He's the one that buried ours. We had to go to his boss to get it published.
So that's our plan for next week. If not, we'll be right here, sitting here staring at each other like we do every week.
And I'll be bitching.
And he'll be bitching.
Yes, Ronnie, I read his comment. I could read it. And that last one, I kind of believe you're right. You know, and, you know, maybe the Chinese will be at the inauguration.
Oh my gosh. That's happening Thursday?
Yeah, open up the tapes. Open up Biden's conversation with the Ukraine president when he told him he was going to withhold shit and everything else if he didn't get his. Open them tapes up, that conversation up. We fought so hard. Democrats wanted Trump's conversations with them tapes put in. We fought so hard, they did, to get them in and thought it was only right. But now that we want the other tapes in, it's wrong. We don't need to hear them.
Is the inauguration Wednesday or Thursday? 20th on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Everybody listen. We'll wrap it up, but listen to me. Hopefully nothing happens. I don't see a bunch of military being dispersed around the United States like it is without something not going to happen. Hopefully nothing's going to happen. We don't know because our media's shut us out. It's a scary time when you know shit's going on and nobody's reporting nothing, letting the citizens of this country know. Stock up on stuff. Make sure you're good for a couple weeks, because what's the worst that can happen if you do buy that stuff? Nothing happens and you got it. You don't have to go to the grocery store for a while. That's the worst case. The worst case is something happens and
The worser case?
The worser case. The more worst case, something happens and you're not prepared. You're stuck.
Yeah.
I want to see that. We got a lot of friends out there, Doug, and a lot of people. If something goes down, you know how to get a hold of us. We'll do what we can do, just like in the beginning of the pandemic when things shut down.
Yep.
So be careful when you go to bed tonight. You know, say a prayer. I mean, you know, things straighten out in this country, because it isn't me. I've lived my life. You know, I die today. I've lived a full life. Trust me, at 53. I got grandkids and kids that are going to have to pay the price for everything that's going on right now. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
It isn't about me. It's about them. So be careful. Stay safe. Say a prayer tonight. God bless all of you.
See ya.